Hello friends, welcome back. A year back I made a video regarding the 70 my dash cam, and recently one of the company representative wanted me to review the next generation of that dash cam, that is the 70 my dash cam Pro Plus, the model number being A500. So the package was sent from China and recently it reached India, and right now I have it here with me. So before I start the video, let me talk about the differentiating features from the previous generation dash cam. So in my previous video for the first generation camera, I had said that the camera needs a separate GPS module, but the newer generation comes with the GPS module inbuilt. Now both the modules feature a 2-inch screen, but the previous generation has a resolution of 320 by 240 pixels, whereas the newer generation has a much more sharper image quality of 480 by 360 pixel resolution. The CPU has been upgraded from the V100 to the V200 series. And another differentiating feature is the number of languages supported by the new dashcam, which has been increased from the 3 in the first generation to 8 languages now. Now both the generation of cameras do capture videos in 1944p, that is almost twice the resolution of Full HD. But again, the latest model has a 3D noise reduction as well as wide dynamic range, resulting in a superior night vision which will help brighten up the image during evening or night times when the light is not sufficient. The newer model also has an inbuilt G sensor which can detect movement of the car when it is actually stationary or parked, and will start recording once it detects any kind of abnormal movement or accident happening to your car. If such a video is actually recorded, the dashcam will prompt through a voice prompt when you switch it on the next time. The newer generation also has the advanced driver assistance system that will warn you of any safety problems, like if you are moving away from the lane that you are following, and also warns you of any forward collision that is about to happen. Now the inbuilt GPS also mentions the monitors and displays the real-time data like speed in km per hour and coordinates the exact location of an accident if one should occur, and is crucial for roadside assistance and insurance claims. Now the latest Pro Plus model also has optional accessories like the RC06 rear cam, which can be mounted on the rear side of your car, and it takes care of any collision happening from the rear side. So in short, this new dashcam is capable of dual channel recording both from the front and from the rear cameras of the car. The RC06 rear camera captures videos in Full HD format and has a wide angle view of around 130 degrees, whereas the front main cam has a wide angle view of 140 degrees. The main front camera has an aperture of f1.8, whereas the rear cam has a narrower aperture of f2.0. Now again, to use this RC06 rear camera, you will need a 70 my hardware kit, especially for the parking surveillance mode. So this kit ensures that electrical power for the dashcam continues even when the car is parked. Now after the feature set, let us talk about the things that I received in the package itself. So first is the dashcam itself. Then there is this rear camera RC06 that was also included in the package. There is also included a hardware kit, a cable kit that is used for parking surveillance. Then there are 2 sets of extension cables to conceal the wiring in your dashcam. There is also included a small plastic spatula for helping in the installation of the dashcam. Both the dash camera and the rear camera comes included with the adhesive gum on the base. There are also 2 sets of extra adhesive tapes that is available in the package. Now since people will be apprehensive in fixing some kind of adhesive tape or adhesion gum onto the windshields, so they have come up ingenious idea of using an electrostatic sticker. This is nothing but a thin film, like previous generation mobile phones we used to apply thin plastic films as screen protector. This is kind of same material which has no gum on it, and it can attach directly with the electrostatic mechanism to your windshield, and it is making a quite solid connection with the windshield. Now after this electrostatic sticker is placed on the windshield, then there is markings on this sticker to guide you on how to place the adhesive tape onto this sticker. Now once you have placed the adhesive sticker or the stand of the dashcam onto this electrostatic sticker, you can easily fix as well as remove the dash camera from your windshield. The power cable has a micro USB socket, and you can see that the angulation is going upwards, so that concealing will be much more easier compared to the angulation if it was made downwards. Now coming to the ports on the dashcam proper, you can see there is a DC in socket, that is the micro USB port which connects to your car charger port. Then there is this AV in socket which is special in this generation, where you can connect the rear camera video input onto this, which enables it to make a dual recording possible. Now there is this micro SD slot, and this is specific to the class 10 category of micro SD cards. It doesn't accept any slower speed micro SD cards, because the resolution of this dashcam is quite high, and anything slower will compromise the speed of this dashcam. Now there is this big button, that is the on off power button, and then there are 4 switches that help you in navigating the interface, which is quite simple. The leftmost button you can see is for the audio recording. The second button in the interface acts as a emergency video recording button that you can press to create immediate video recording for any emergency situations. The third button is to enter or access the album or the photos or videos stored inside the memory card. And the fourth button helps you navigate through the settings of the dashcam. Now with the basic hardware tour out of the way, we can go into the settings tour of this dashcam. Now once you enter the album feature of this dash camera, you will be greeted with various storage options, that is the front camera video storage, then the back camera video storage. A separate folder is made for the emergency videos that has been captured, as well as parking surveillance videos. And lastly, there is a section on the photos that have been captured on the dashcam. So you can natively play all the videos and photos on the dashcam itself, or you can use the app, the 70my app on your Android or iOS device, and transfer all these data onto your mobile or laptop or tablet to have a playback on a bigger screen. So now let's go into the last button, that is the settings, system settings. The system settings, you can see that there are 2 settings on the first page, that is the video settings and the system settings. Inside video settings, there is this emergency video setting, where select the sensitivity of the emergency videos. You can keep it as high sensitivity or the low sensitivity. Whenever there is a bump or the G sensor detects the movement of the camera, any abnormal movement of the car, then the emergency video starts recording. The second one is the parking surveillance setting. So you can see that it has not detected any parking surveillance cable connected to the dash camera. So this function is now for the time being is disabled. Now there is this recording duration button where you can set the recording duration to 1 minute, 2 minutes or 3 minutes. The next is the video storage option where you can select a high compression ratio or a low compression ratio. High compression ratio creates small video files, whereas the low compression ratio creates a bigger video files. In the video resolution setting, you can select between three video resolution, that is 1440p, 1920p and the highest 1944p. Now the next setting is the resistance to blink. I think the blink is not a correct word in English. I think this is more of a video format type, that is a PAL, NTSC or 55 Hz Japan. Then in the next setting you can switch on the wide dynamic range on or off. And in the last setting there is the speed or latitude. This is indirectly switching on the GPS on and off. As I have already told, this A500 has an inbuilt GPS, whereas it doesn't need a separate GPS module like in the previous generation. So this can show you speed as well as your latitude in real time continuously when you are traveling. Now going into the system settings, that is the Wi-Fi setting. The Wi-Fi setting is basically turning on the hotspot of this device, which helps in connecting to the 70mi application on your mobile phones. Next one is the power on Wi-Fi setting. This is basically the Wi-Fi hotspot will be turned on automatically every time the machine is turned on, which will obviously have an impact on the battery life of this device. The next option is the audio recording option. You can have videos with audio recording turned on or off. Right now I have kept the audio recording turned off. Now the next one is the special ADAS function, that is the advanced driver assistance system function. Once you switch on this setting, you need to initially make the dashcam aligned with the car head so that the dashcam knows exactly the orientation or the shape of the car. So whenever you deviate from your lane, the dashcam will alert you that you are deviating from the lane that you are following. Now the next setting is the screen off time. That can be always on or for 1 minute, or after 30 seconds the screen will turn off itself. Next is the speaker volume setting, that is you can keep the speaker as high, moderate or low settings. Now the setting about turning off the device automatically in parking, you can select between 10 minute, 20 minute or do not turn off automatically. These three options are there. Then there is the setting for the system time, where you can set the system time accordingly to your time zones. And last is the system language options. There are right now 8 languages that are supported on this device compared to 3 on the previous generation. The last but one is the download app. You can have a QR code displayed on this dashcam, and then you can scan on your phone and get that application onto your mobile phone. Then the last is the system update when you are connected to your Wi-Fi. And then last is the about section, that is a 70mi dashcam pro plus. It shows you current version and the time published of the firmware. So this was all about the detailed settings tour of the 70mi dashcam pro plus. Now let us go into the final set of the review, that is the actual video performance and the still camera performance of this dashcam.